So I'm trying to get this message out because it's very important. A lot of times I see this question: why do good things always happen to bad people? Like bad people, they're always the richest people, always the happiest. They always have their dream life. They're always getting good things. There's a couple things to that. For one, good things, the things that people call good that these bad people are getting, they're usually tangible. That is nothing compared to what true Christians get, which is an afterlife of heaven. Nothing compared to it. Anything of this world does not matter. It will all pass away. The only thing you can take to you at heaven, God always reminds me of this, is more people. That's the only thing you can take to you at heaven is people. Anywho, the second thing, um, I fear if you are in a position to where you don't have some type of attack on your life, you don't go through any type of trials and tribulations, you don't feel like you're going through troubles or suffering, you don't have this feeling of crucifying of your flesh daily. If you don't go through that, I fear that, because you know what that means? That means that you're not led by the Spirit. That means that you are not following Christ. That means that you're leading yourself to hell. That means that you're led by the devil. The devil will only attack something that is running away from him. If you're running towards him and you want him and you're inviting him into your life, he's not going to attack you, right? He doesn't care about that. He attacks people that can potentially bring more people towards God. He attacks people that are allowing their spirit to lead them and not their flesh. He attacks people that don't allow their flesh to lead, that literally crucify their flesh daily, because he can influence your flesh. And when you learn to kill it, he can no longer influence your flesh. He can't influence your spirit. He can't influence your spirit. He can influence your flesh. That's all. And your flesh will start to mess with your spirit and go back and forth with your spirit. But the devil can't influence your spirit. He only influences your flesh. And when you learn to crucify, this is why you're supposed to crucify your flesh, so that it can die, so that there's no more life to it. Nothing can influence it, right? He's only attacking people that crucify their flesh. So these people that you see as getting good things and they're bad people, understand that's not even a life to live, because no one that is not led by Jesus has true inner peace, I promise you. No one that is running from God has inner peace. They might look like they're happy, they might look like they had their life together. These are all tangible things. Don't get so caught up in this world and what the world can bring you that you forget that heaven is more of a prize than this world. This world is going to die one day. We're not even going to be here much longer. So, yeah, I don't know if I answered that question for somebody, but these good things are just tangible, right? No one that is not led by God and that continues to follow the devil's um, influence and continues to live by him is having true inner peace. One more thing, because I just thought about this. Just because somebody is receiving more than you, right? These bad people are receiving more than you and you think they're just living this amazing life, doesn't mean they're receiving better than you. And I'm going to say that again. Just because somebody is receiving more than you does not mean they're receiving better than you. So if these bad people are receiving whatever they want, their dream life, they have their life all figured, they're at the top when it comes to finances and everything, that doesn't mean that that's good, right? The devil will give you anything you want, whether it's good, bad, whatever the case may be. The devil will give you anything you want. God will give you the desires of your heart. He's not going to give you just anything that you want. When people read the Bible, that's why I'm so against manifestation, because the idea of manifestation is you could just ask for whatever and you could get whatever. That is so false. God will never give you just anything. When he says ask and you shall receive, he's referring to the desires of your heart. God gave you the desires of your heart. He knows what you want, even if you don't know what you want, right? Sometimes we don't know every single desire of our heart. We ask God for God's will to be done because we don't know every single thing. God can look at our heart and tell what we want. So if he turns certain things down, if we ask God something and he doesn't let it happen, that's protection. The devil doesn't care about your protection. He doesn't care about not bringing in certain things so it doesn't affect your mental, it doesn't affect your spirit. He doesn't care about that. All he cares about is you are leaning on him for your life. You're getting what you want out of him, and you're leading yourself to sin and to hell. God doesn't do that. What God brings into your life will always be longevity. What the devil brings to your life is very tangible and temporary, right? So I just want to remind somebody that just because you see somebody bad getting more than you doesn't mean that their life is fulfilled, doesn't mean that their life is led by God. God isn't blessing them. God has grace to allow it because we have free will. And you have to remember that we have free will to do whatever we want. They can make that life happen by all means. They can build their business up to where they become a millionaire and they, have this um climbing up the corporate ladder, whatever the case may be. They have this life that's just figured out. They can do that because they have free will and God will allow it. But doesn't mean that God blessed it and wanted it. So remember that. Just because you have less doesn't mean that you have worse. It will always be better. And you would much rather want less with God than more with the devil.